In this episode, I will be converting this class 37 to DCC using a lens decoder. Stick around. Hi, and welcome back to a new episode. Today I'm going to install this lens decoder into this class 37. I just bought this off eBay and I'm looking forward to seeing it run on my layout. At the moment I can't do it obviously because it's DC, but what I'm happy about is that it has metal gears. Yeah, it's an old one, you know, but anyway, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to start off with taking the body off and examining what I need to do to get this going. Let me start there. So as you can see, I took the body off, and before getting back on the camera, I did some homework. I was looking at the way the current flows through the chassis, and I discovered a couple of things. Remove this. Okay, I'm going to need a DG hat here for sure, and that would be one of the wires that comes from the decoder to the motor. I'll solder that wire here. I'll cut a little groove here for the wire to fit inside the groove for the chassis to remain flush here, for the body to slide on. And then I'm going to remove this, cut it here and here, and I will connect a wire here for the other side of the motor. So here you have the orange and the gray, whichever, here and underneath where the DG hat is. The black and the red, okay, one of them I have to bridge this and this. Remember, these are going to be cut off here. So I'm going to eliminate this part here, this copper part here, but this will stay obviously. This is holding in the brush for the motor, and this is the spring under there. So I'll have to bridge this, and then I will connect the black, for example, or the red here, and the other wire coming from the to supply it from the track. I'll drill a hole here because I need to take the supply from the chassis. So I'll drill a hole here, not very deep, 2 or 3 millimeters deep. I'll screw in a self-tapping screw and then chop it off, file it down, and I can solder to that. That way I will have the current coming from one side of the track to here, which will feed the decoder, and the other side will be coming up from here, these two. It will feed the other side of the decoder. The output of the decoder, one will go here, and the other one down here with the DG hat. Any components I find along the way like this for the DC, I will simply remove, and that's it. This is the second chassis I'm doing like this. I have another 37 similar to this, and I yet to have another chassis for this 56, yes. And coincidence is both the 56 and the 37 share the same chassis. So in reality, I can just change body and nobody will know any better. This is the chassis I have for the 56. It's similar, but even older. The components are very obvious here. These are for the little bulbs there are, not LEDs, bulbs. When I convert this, I'm going to try to salvage those, but most probably I'll change them to LEDs, obviously. Anyway, but that's another project. But it's cool how on the same chassis you can have both this and the 37. In fact, if you put them together, they are the same size, the same height, same width, obviously. So there's a future there for both of them. I can take parts from one to the other. Anyway, back to this. So off camera, I'm going to dismantle this, like I said. I'm going to chop it off here and here to eliminate the middle part, and put this back on. Okay, and I'll come back when I have that done for you. Back soon. Okay, the next step I did was I cut this this length of copper or brass, whatever it is, up. I have these two tabs here which are connected to these screws, and these two screws are in turn connected to these two pickups which make contact with the top side of the bogies. So these two are the same polarity. So I loop them together just in case one fails. There's the other one to bring supply up to the decoder. And obviously I connected one side of the decoder, one wire of the decoder still. Now the next step is I'm going to put some double-sided tape along here, place this on it, and solder the black wire here to this cut-off screw. Let me see if I can come in closer. Yeah, like that, you can see it. Here, which I tapped into the chassis. I can solder to this now. It's going to require some heat, but it will work. So let me do this part, get that attached to the chassis, and I get back to you. Okay, so we have some progress. Double-sided tape, like I said, with the decoder attached to it. I'm not going to cover it up. I don't want to put it in heat shrink either. I'm afraid it will overheat, so I'm going to leave it as it is. The orange wire here goes to this clip here, which is the brush, the top brush of the motor down here. This is already insulated from the chassis because it is on a plastic tray here. When I took it up, there was nothing underneath it, so it's not touching anything. I put these cut-offs here, 1 and 2, back in place, and they are holding the pickups here. Okay, oh, by the way, these pickups are insulated from the chassis because they are on a plastic tray here as well, both of them. Okay, I made sure I joined them together again. This is the loop here. I used white wire. It was the cutoff from the lights, the white, the blue, and the yellow that I wasn't using because there's no lights on this. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. In the future, I don't know. Anyway, this is ready here. The orange, the black is soldered to that screw which I put in a hole there, and the red is soldered to this with the loop to the other side. Okay, now all I have to do is the gray one. Here is the slot I told you about. I'm going to put the wire in there. Hang on, let me show you. Like so, and it's flush here. So when I put the body on, it's not a problem. And down here, I'm going to put in the brush back in. I'm going to use a DJ hat here instead of this brass one here, this brass bushing here. I will be using a nylon one, and this will be insulated from the chassis. So I'm going to do that and get back to you. Okay, so I put the bottom, the lower one, this one, spring and digi hat and brush in. I had to replace the insulation that came with the package because I destroyed it on the first attempt. That's okay. Leave some heat shrink. Now I want to tidy this up a bit. I'm going to put a piece of tape over the wires to keep them all there. And after that, I'm going to show it to you on the track, hopefully moving. Until then. Okay, I've got it done. I've changed the CV settings on it from the defaults, and I got it to work. It sounds horrible, I mean, compared to the modern motors that you can find. This sounds very rough. Even the CV settings, I had to lower the maximum speed a lot more than normal because it was way too fast to get it to a realistic speed. I mean, according to Google, these things travel at maximum speed of 80 miles an hour. So to set the step 126 to maximum 80 miles an hour, I went down to 32 on the CV for maximum speed, 5 or 6, 5 I think. Anyway, so I got that done. Now I'm going to put the body on it and give it a little run. Be right back. My apologies here. The neighbors were doing some work and there was too much noise to use the original audio I had with this footage. So I put some background music on for you guys, but before I do that, I want to explain a couple of things. This is the first run of this 37. I like it. I like the looks, obviously, but I don't like the motor there is in it. It's noisy, it's jerky at low speeds, no matter how much I played about with the settings. But it's I don't think it can handle that fine tuning of stopping at a nice realistic speed. So I will be changing the motor on this, and most probably I'll do the other 37 I have as well. I'll use a coreless motor, and I think it will work even better with DCC. There'll be less load on the decoder, because I'm noticing that the current is higher than the other locomotives I have, so it must be drawing a substantial amount of current because of its age and old technology. Anyway, most probably it's worn out. So I'm going to leave you with this now. As you can see, it's going by. It pulls like crazy, as you can see. I mean, it's putting some 21 carriages, upper 1:50 incline. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to leave you with this, and if you have any questions, please ask. Until the next time, guys.